If you ask Olerile Lekgetho about his secret to success, he'll tell you it's Voermol Feeds. Hello Mzansi, welcome to episode 439 of the Farmers Inside Track podcast. I'm your host Duncan Masiwa, and this episode is powered by Voermol Feeds. Now, in a special podcast series over the coming months, we'll explore how some of Mzansi's brightest young farmers are building their livestock herds using a trusted ally, Voermol Feeds. Now, farmers like Olerile Lekgetho, who manages a flourishing 660 hectare farm in Northwest, specializing in breeding White Brahman and Bonsmara cattle, attribute part of their success to the strategic use of Voermol Feeds Dundee Lick Concentrate. We'll also hear from Dr Josef van Wyngaard from Voermol Feeds, who will explain why Voermol is the preferred choice for all things animal feed.
Dr. Josef, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Definitely. We're talking Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate, and of course, over the next few months, we'll be unpacking quite a number of your products. For more than 60 years, Voermol Feeds has been enabling farmers to strategically feed their livestock in order to maximize their return on investment. And I suppose that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day. What is it about your range of quality molasses-based products that makes Voermol a preferred choice of animal feed, would you say?
Voermol is all about quality. It's in the name. We're talking about 60 years experience, as you mentioned already. We've got various nutritionists working at Voermol doing the formulations, etc. And we've got a quality management system in place. We get audited annually by at least 3 role players to verify our quality management system. It all starts with the raw materials. We buy in high quality raw materials on an international basis or locally, and we scrutinize it from there. We reject anything that's slightly off spec, and then we run through the whole process. During the production process, we take samples. We analyze it at our on-site laboratorium, which is equipped with all the latest technologies in terms of equipment to analyze results that we get in 2 minutes or 3 minutes turnaround time. So then we can make a decision right there to see if this product is on quality par as Voermol expects. If not, we reject, we isolate, and we start with a new batch. So quality is the heart of Voermol. We try to send out a quality, safe product at the end of the day to the customer. As mentioned, we go through the raw materials, the final product, the packaging, everything. And at the end of the day, we're also looking at excellent animal performance using these Voermol products.
Dr. Josef, when you tell me that quality is the heart of Voermol, I definitely believe you. You just mentioned that you reject something that is slightly off spec. That speaks to how quality focused you are. Are there any specific conditions or types of livestock for which this specific product that we are talking about is particularly recommended or not recommended?
So we're talking about the Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate. It's specifically classified for registered large ruminants. So we're specifically talking about cattle here. So it's not meant to be fed to small stock, your sheep or goats, so cattle only. And it's a concentrate, so you do need to mix it with other raw materials that you have available on your farm or that you need to buy in. And then from there, you make your various different mixtures. It's the universal product in terms of different mixes that you can make. But once again, I just want to reiterate, it's cattle only.
That's great. Now, of course, I spoke to one of your customers, Olerile Lekgetho, who swears by Voermol Feeds products. Let's quickly hear from him on how he uses Voermol's Dundee Lick Concentrate.
The operation consists of Bonsmara cattle, White Brahman cattle, mixed cattle, and a bit of sheep. 2 years ago, I was not using Dundee Lick. It was actually recommended to me by a friend. 2 years ago, what happened? My cattle had lost a lot of weight, especially during this winter month. The grass does not have too much nutritional value at this current moment because the grass has changed color. So a friend is the one that had recommended Dundee Lick to me because before I was using it, my cattle were losing a lot of weight. So it helps a lot. I started using it last year and I never had any problems with cattle that were losing weight. The body condition had dropped, but not drastically like before when I was not using it. So it helps a lot. It's very nutritious for the cattle.
Dr. Josef, you just heard it there from Olerile himself. Staying with the Dundee Lick Concentrate, Could you break down the components and benefits of Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate?
Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate is a winter supplement that's used for cattle only. It's there to utilize your own resources on your farm. For instance, if you have, let's call it a maize component or a hominy chop component that you do have available or that you can buy, and similar to salt as well. So the main benefit with Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate is you're actually stimulating the intake of winterfell, which is of a lower quality roughage compared to your grazing that you get during the summertime. Voermol Dundee Lick makes it possible with the inclusion of urea and also your trace minerals, and you've got macro minerals in there as well, and vitamin A, which all plays a role in the effective utilization of low quality winterfell. That's where Dundee Lick comes into play. You really see the effect of that product on your animals when you see the animals actually grazing low quality pasture or fell and not lose weight at all. That's one of the biggest benefits of Voermol Dundee Lick, is you utilize low quality felt that's usually not beneficial for animals.
You've taken us through some of the benefits of the Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate. What about how it supports the health and growth of livestock, particularly weaner calves?
Voermol Dundee Lick is formulated for mature animals for maintenance purposes. But yes, you can mix it with maize to make it a kind of a production lick where you promote health, or more specifically growth of livestock in your weaner calves. And then also for your cows to produce milk. You can stimulate that, then automatically a heavier weaner calf at the end of the day. So what do we have in Dundee that supports health? All about the trace mineral composition, and then of course vitamin A. The vitamin A there is not just your regular vitamin A that you get in all other kind of animal feeds. It's a special kind of product that we procured, and it's in the form of, and we call it a rumen protected vitamin A. So it's encapsulated with a kind of a fat, and that just gives you additional vitamin A that the animal gets in, because vitamin A is really sensitive in sunlight. Once you pour out your lick, usually you lose approximately 50% of your vitamin A in a lick, just due to the instability in UV light. But with this new technology, where you've got the rumen protected vitamin A that we have in our Dundee concentrate, you get 100% availability to that animal. Once you up your vitamin A, you immediately improve your health, your immune system, and then also you reduce your risk for metabolic diseases or any kind of stress factors that can play a role there.
Dr. Josef, I must admit I'm not the sharpest pencil when it comes to animal health, but my understanding is that you are able to mix Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate to create a maintenance lick as well as a production lick. Take us through how to do that. Let's talk mixing and usage.
You've got your two mixing options. There's actually 5 options if you look at the Voermol app. But the 2 mixtures that's most oftenly used is the first one would be your maintenance lick, and that would be lick number 1 in the product brochure. You've got your Dundee Lick Concentrate at 400 kgs or 8 bags, and then 250 kgs of coarse salt or 5 bags of salt. And that accumulates to a total of 650 kilograms mix. And you feed that out daily at a rate of between 300 and 450 grams of this lick mixture per animal per day. Just take note, there should always be enough grazing available. This is not a complete feed. So this is just a supplement that's going to stimulate the animal to actually graze the low quality grass. Your second mixture would be a production lick that you can make. So then you bring in a grain component such as maize, and preferably it should be crushed maize, or the other option is your hominy chop that you can also buy, which is a byproduct from the maize milling industry. Your mixture there, also very simple. You've got 4 components going in there. So it's 250 kgs of Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate. It's basically 5 bags, 1 bag of Voermol Rumavite 12P. That's just to add additional minerals. And then you've got 550 kgs of maize meal or hominy chop, and 150 kilograms or 3 bags of coarse salt. And that gives you a production lick of more or less 25% protein. Your intake there per animal per day ranges between 1 kg to 1.5 kgs. And usually we recommend this lick just around calving time. So basically 30 days before calving up until 30 days after calving, if you've got a traditional calving season. Your maintenance lick, we start with that once the first frost arrives, which is usually here in May. It can be earlier or later, each year varies. And then you end with your maintenance lick once you start with your production lick. And that's as easy as it is. So you've got your two mixtures there. So you've got one product on the farm that you can utilize in two separate methods.
So I've started integrating Voermol Dundee Lick into my feeding schedule on the farm. How soon can I expect to see the benefits of using it in my livestock herd? And maybe in addition to that, can Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate be used in conjunction with other supplements or feeds?
Yeah, everybody wants to see results immediately. However, with ruminants, talking about our cattle or our goat and sheep, they usually need at least 14 days or 2 weeks to adapt to any kind of new feeding regime, even if it's a lick. And only then you will start seeing maybe changes. However, the animal in maintenance, the unit that you're going to measure there, or the specific thing that you're going to look at is body condition score and also weight. So the whole idea of a maintenance lick, where we're talking about a Dundee Lick Concentrate plus salt, is to maintain body weight of the animal and to maintain body condition score. So that would be the thing that you need to keep your eye on. If you achieve that, if your animal does not lose weight, then it's a measurable of or indication that you actually have good results using this product. Your second question was about using Voermol Dundee Lick in conjunction with other supplements. Not always necessary. However, if you are in a mineral deficient area, specifically phosphorus, so that would be in the Vryburg area, then the northwest, then it's not a bad idea while you're feeding your Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate with salt as a maintenance lick. On the side, you can always supplement the animals with a B12 or B6 mixture as well. So you can use it in conjunction with other supplements as well.
I suppose for any farmer, he or she wants to know that the product that they are using is actually successful and is contributing to their goals as a farming enterprise. Are there any measurable metrics or indicators that I as a farmer should monitor to actually assess the effectiveness of the product?
Yes, as mentioned before, was body condition score and live weight. However, another way to actually measure the success of this product or its effectiveness is actually to keep an eye on the lick intake. So if you enter winter like we're currently now, and then your lick intake would actually start to increase, especially if it's a protein lick, because the animals, they've got nutritional wisdom, so they know what they need. And as soon as you get to the end of the winter period, especially when your cows are starting to calve, their nutritional requirements increase significantly. Then you'll get an additional increase in your lick intake. And that's a very good indicator that your animals need something more. And that's when you change over to a production lick. After production lick in the summertime, you obviously go through just a mineral supplement, which with very low intakes. And then also just an example there, as soon as the intake increase on a mineral lick, then you know the animals need more protein. And then that's usually the time when you start changing over to a maintenance lick like a Dundee plus salt mixture.
I often wonder, how does storage and the way in which farmers store their products, how that impacts the effectiveness of an agricultural product? What is the best way, would you say, to store Voermol Dundee Lick Concentrate to maintain its quality and effectiveness?
Maybe just some background before I give some info there is, if we talk about the best before date, or we call it the BB date, it's not an expiry date. It's just the date that we can get the best results from that product. So our Dundee Lick usually has a best before date of a year, or you can call it a shelf life of 1 year once purchased. And there's a ticket on the bag that's visible that shows you the best before date. It comes in a 50 kg bag. So ways to store it is you can stack them on each other, about 5 rows on top of each other, and preferably in a shed with a roof over. So try to avoid the feed getting wet, because as soon as it gets wet, remember there's molasses in there and it's a perfect substance for mold growth. So if you add water, then you get this kind of a chemical reaction and you get mold growth. So keep it away from anything wet. So keep it in a dry area, not in direct sunlight preferably. And then you can easily go with a year storage of this product and without affecting the quality of it.
That was, of course, Dr. Josef van Wyngaard from Voermol Feeds. You can, of course, read more on this topic by visiting www.foodformzansi.co.za. For now, that's a wrap. Remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss any of the episodes. From me, Duncan Masiwa, our technical producer, Megan van der Vent, and the rest of hashtag Team Food for Mzansi. As always, thanks for listening.
Life in South Africa can be a lot. I mean, scroll through Twitter for a minute and tell me I'm wrong. Thank God for South Africans though, right? We're inspiring, and even on the bad days, we fight back with a smile. That's why I love Food for Mzansi so much. They're not ashamed to celebrate the ordinary unsung heroes who work every day to put food on our nation's tables. Go to foodformzansi.co.za and never miss an inspiring story.